Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Top Notch. Today we have a very special Egyptian prominent figure. Stay with us and we'll be right back to tell you all about him. Our top notch today is Dr. Hassan Wageih. He's an expert on the linguistics of association and cross-cultural communication. He currently teaches in Al-Azhar University and he taught in Texas University as well as Georgetown University. He was awarded the State Prize for Economic and Legal Sciences, the political science branch. That was in 1998. Stay with us and we'll tell you more about Dr. Hassan Wageih. Dr. Hassan Wageih, Associate Professor of Linguistics and Political Science at Al-Azhar University and expert on negotiation and cross-cultural communication. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us today.
It's a pleasure.
Let me begin by asking you about your early childhood and your early beginnings.
Actually, when it comes to connecting this early childhood with my specialty, I would think that I really loved very much communication process. But of course, I love that process to be studied. But with levels of sophistication and with sequence and grading that culminated by my PhD in the final analysis. And actually I got interested in this area because of one of the situations when I was in Georgetown University. We were in the Egyptian Student Association and we had a meeting. And that meeting was full of miscommunication. When I wrote an article about it from a scientific point of view, I was highly motivated and encouraged by the feedback I got. So I pursued with vigor and enjoyment and pursued this scientific field.
Dr. Wageih, you graduated from the Faculty of Translation, Azhar University.
Faculty of Languages and Translation, Azhar
Yes, Faculty
University.
of Languages and Translation, Azhar University. And then you pursued postgraduate studies. You pursued your master's degree first,
Yes.
and then your PhD.
Yeah.
The idea of specializing in this field, negotiation and cross-cultural communication, did this happen by coincidence, or it came to you, you wanted to study this following your graduation?
as I told you in my previous question, yeah, I had intrinsic interest in studying communication very long time ago. But when I went to Al-Azhar University and when I was undergraduate, this university, Al-Azhar University, I love it very much, I belong to it very much, and I feel like it is one of the most surrounded by misperception in the world, misperceptions, a lot of misperceptions. I'll tell you that they say it's one-track-minded, they say, some people say it generated violence, all these kind of things are, I'm astonished when I hear this, because it is a pot of melting. Actually, when I was undergraduate, I used to have people from all over the world. In the Faculty of Languages, we have staff from all over the world. My staff, we had people from Britain, people from America, people from Egyptian doctors who graduated from all these famous institutions all over the world. So I felt like I was exposed to a very good multicultural place, and people who knows Al-Azhar, people who know Al-Azhar very well would call it the Oxford of the Middle East, and they are right in this.
Dr. Wageih, you gave training courses and seminars and programs in the fields of negotiation, cross-cultural communication, crisis management, academic and media discourse analysis, public relations, and NLP. First of all, define to me NLP, and then let's discuss your messages that you delivered during these training courses.
Actually, NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It is in the metrics of linguistics. It came from that science. So neuro means thinking, and the way you control your neurology, the way you control your nerves, the way you contain others, the way you pursue a program through to be very watchful of what your thinking style, how to update it, how to upgrade it, and this neuro. Linguistic is the linguistic strategies used to reflect that thinking. Programming is to change the program from A to Z or from A to B. We have a program like when it comes to politics, for instance. We had a program of wars. Now we have a program of peace. The moment you say we don't need wars in this world, so this is a program. You want a world of stability. This is another program. How can we program people to a world of stability, peace, being decent to each other, being considerate of each other? I think this is a very worthy of all efforts to be taken. Neuro-linguistic programming is to change yourself from one stage that is undesirable to a stage that you desire to reach. Very briefly.
Dr. Wageih, Muslims nowadays face a lot of challenges and crises. They go through a lot of crises. The cartoon thing was the latest in a series in chain of crises that Muslims have been through. Now, you are a member in the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. Tell me, what is the role of this council and your role in defining the crisis and trying to solve it?
Let me define the crisis by commenting on your question. It is not a crisis that the Arab world Muslim is going through only. It's an entire world. It's an entire world system. Actually, I'd like very much to start up by saying I really like very much someone like Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter tried to change the program. He said the world international relations has been going through what he called secular reductionism. This means that they look at religion as a bad thing or out of the vision. Carter and a very good group of researchers in international relations insist of changing that program. They consider that religion could be an extremely positive force in making the world a better world. So they authored a very good book called Religion, the Missing Dimension in Statecraft. And this is a wonderful book. This will tell you that we need to change the world into a program that would be considerate to each other. That would respect as I respect my religion and faith, and I have to honor that, the others are to be respected too. So when it comes to playing with this, I think playing with fire, when you do these cartoons and you insult Muslim sensibilities, you insult their creed, I think, as I told one day a Christian fellow, if your religion is insulted, you may be containing, you may not, you consider the other is crazy, but you might find other Christian people who are sincere about their religion and faith, they can be violent. He said, yes, for sure, they could. So I would not think that the Muslims are turning to violence, but I think they are being put on a square that would get them easily to that. This is not justifiable. We do not justify violence. We don't want violence in the world. So to come back to the question, what Muslims and the West could do together, it's not one-sided. So I think that networking is very important to establish bridges with the fair-minded people in the West, and the silent majority should come out of their silence and express their deep respect for good relation between the two worlds, the Islamic world and the West. And also by bridging these gaps, we can contain clash of civilization scenario. There is a very unfortunate clash of civilization scenario that is being activated and nourished by the acts deliberately by some people and unconsciously by some interactions. As we have seen in the last file of Copenhagen file, or Copenhagen crisis as we say it, as we describe it. So I think that we have to make a good networking, we have to make dialogue sincere, we should get people in cross-cultural communication training. Diplomats need the training, journalists need the training, educators need the training in cross-cultural communication. It's an emerging field, but it's the least understood field in the world, in the curricula, in the Arab Islamic world, and in the West as well. So we need to have the experts, and we need to have the silent majority to come to the podium, to come to the front, and lead people to the scenario of dialogue and stability and decency and all these kind of things, rather than leaving the whole thing for two people, the extremist, the terrorist, and also on both sides. I'm not talking about the Arab Islamic world and the West. In both sides we have terrorists. In both sides we have, it could be intellectual terrorism sometimes. It doesn't have to be terrorism which is very difficult to be defined, but has many levels. So I think we should deprive the extremists on both sides to kidnap religions, to kidnap cultures, and to interact together while the silent majority is doing nothing. The time has come not to leave everything in the hand of politicians too. Track to diplomacy, as we call it, or popular diplomacy, has to be there. Good networking, effective networking between the Arab Islamic world and the West. And especially, I call upon all the experts. We need a lot of experts, because the experts know the differences and they can diagnose the problem far more easier. Even the politicians should consult the experts in this area, because it's complicated and it needs work, and they could lead the silent majority, and I believe we have to do this soon, today, not tomorrow. Yesterday, not today even.
We once had a teacher, the teacher of teachers.